In this video, we want to look at Statistics Lab 1. Now, there are two ways you can complete this lab. One would be to watch this entire video that goes over the lab and then go complete the lab on its own. Another way you could do this is you could go through this video and watch the video, pause, go complete those steps, go back to the video, complete the next step, and then just work your way back and forth through the video. Whatever works best for you is what you want to do to complete the video. So the first thing you want to do is go to Google Classroom and open the Stats Lab 1, and you will open a Google Sheets document. This Google Sheets document will look something like this. I've already given you the names right here, already typed in. So you have two pieces of papers in front of you. The first is the lab that actually tells you what to kind of type in and the instructions. And then the second paper you have is kind of some notes and some information. How to center and add borders, and it kind of shows you where to click. How to do formulas, and kind of shows you where to click. Most of the stuff in these notes is also what I'm going to be doing in the video. So you don't necessarily need to look at that. So once you have your document opened and you have your names here, the first thing that the lab tells you to do is in column A is all of these names. You want to go to column B and put rate at the top and then type in all of these numbers. So we're going to go to here, we're going to type in rate, and then we're going to type in all of these numbers. Now, to save a little bit of time, I've actually got these typed in already, so 6.5, 6.9. So if I was going to do this, I would just do 6.5, enter, 6.9, enter, and just work my way down. I already have these typed in, so I am just going to highlight these numbers and then copy and paste them right in like that. And you just want to type in the whole row. Next. The next part of the lab is you want to go to column C and you want to put in hours and you want to type these numbers in. So you go back to column C, you type hours, first one was 21, enter, and so forth. Once again, I've already done this, so to speed it up, you type in all these numbers and I'm going to paste them in. Okay. Now, one of the things you see is mine have already kind of been doing this because I've already kind of worked with it. But one of the things you want to do is you want to center and put a border on all these numbers. You may have them, you may not. So to do that, what you want to do is you want to highlight all the numbers that you just typed in. To center them, you go to here and you click this middle button, okay, which they already were. And then now you can see the rate and the hours are. And then to put a border around all those, you go to this square and you select all borders. And now it has put borders around all those numbers. The next part of the lab, we now want to go to the next column and we want to put pay at the top. So when we put pay at the top here, you can see it doesn't necessarily put it back into the middle. What we want to do is we want to take our rate times our hours to figure out the pay. Now, we don't actually want to do that by saying 6.5 times 21. The big thing is in Google Sheets, anytime you do math, you always want to hit equals first. And you see it's already kind of like filling in what to do here. So you want to do equals. Then I want to multiply these two numbers. I don't type the numbers in, I just click B2. And then I do times C2, and I just click that, and it puts them in there, and then when I hit enter, it tells me what those are multiplied. Now, one, it's going to say suggest autofill. If I click that, it automatically does that for my entire column. So I don't have to type this in over and over and over again. Now, sometimes it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work and it doesn't fill in the column and all you have is the first one, there's this little blue dot right here. you can grab that, drag it all the way down, and you get all of your numbers. And once again, we can center it and we can put a border around it. So if we go back to our lab, the next thing is we want to find the taxes, which is 25% of the pay. So we're going to go back here, say taxes, and that is going to equal this number, D2, times 25%, which we'll have to put in as a decimal. And you're starting to see the advantage now of using spreadsheets. You don't have to do all these multiplications yourself. You can just click and it does all of them. Now, if we want to kind of do the border for all of these, we can just kind of highlight everything. I'll go up here and say, let's create a border and let's center everything, and then we're good to go. The next thing, it's going to ask us to sort this chart by pay. And it kind of tells you what to click here on here, but let me show you how we do that. So we're going to sort this by pay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to go up to data, and I go to sort range, and I go to advanced options. Now it's going to ask me to sort this. Now because my top row, I have the name and pay and taxes, I want to click data as a header row. And now I can pick what I want to sort. And I'm going to sort by pay, and I click sort. And notice what it has done is it has put all of these in order of pay, smallest to largest. The important thing when you do this is you want to highlight everything. If you just sort column D, it won't keep this 110 with Jake. It doesn't keep all the numbers together. So you got to make sure you sort the entire range and you sort everything. The next part we want to look at is we want to look at the pay column, and we want to sum up all the numbers, and we want to find the average of the taxes. So to do that, we go to these two columns. We want to sum the pay and average the taxes. So you go to the pay column, and I'm going to go to the bottom. And if I want to find the sum, I type equals sum, and you can see it's already kind of jumping in and telling me what to type. And then I do parenthesis, and I highlight this whole column. I don't need the word pay. And then parenthesis, enter. And there it is added up all those numbers. If I want to find the average here, I type equals average parenthesis, highlight there, parentheses, enter. Now, those kind of things I just typed in are also on the notes page. You can see down here where it tells you what to type in to get the average, and you can kind of see how we want to do that. Okay. So that right there is part one. That is the first part of our lab. The second part of our lab, we're going to try to recreate this table here. And to do that, you go to the next sheet. You can see sheet 2 down here. Sheet 1 is the information that you're kind of given initially. Sheet 2 is all of the names. So once again, you want to come back to your paper here, and you want to type all of these numbers in. So test 1, paper 1, project 1, test 2, project 2, final exam, and then final grade. Now, if we do this, let me see here. For the first one is 82, 82, 92. Let me go back to see the rest of the numbers. 74, 85, 88. 74, 85, 88. And then over here, we want to find our final grade. And I've showed you what the number should be to be able to find that. Okay. So what you want to do is use these percentages. So the way I do this is it's 20% for test 1, 82. So I do equals 20%, 0.2 times 82. Plus, I now need to look back on my paper and see paper is 10%. So then I do 10% times 82. Plus, what's the percentage of the project 1 is 15. So now I go back and I do 15 times 92. And once you've done that for all 6 of the scores, you hit enter. Now here you can see I don't have any more numbers filled in. And this number is incorrect because I didn't do the formula all the way. I'd have to keep going. But if I do that, I could then grab here, I could pull it down to fill in all of them, and you can see they're all 0. And then finally down here, to find the class average, I could type in average, need to spell it correctly, highlight all these, and hit enter. So those are what you need to complete. When you are done, you should see this chart with the numbers at the bottom and this chart with all of the numbers on there. So that is our lab number 1. Okay, this lab is all about us getting used to putting numbers into Google Sheets and understanding how to do formulas and do calculations. If you have done this before in another class or somewhere else, this is very, very easy. If you have never done this before, it can be very confusing. So we're trying to get everybody on the same page with putting in numbers, typing in formulas, and they're simple formulas. Multiplying 2 numbers together, multiplying by 25%. Remember, when you do that, you have to have decimals. All right, you are ready to begin Lab 1.